everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Carlos. Today we're going to be getting into a leg session, reviewing the exercise selection and all of that. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, post notifications, and all that good stuff. So, I've been getting into some debates lately about intensity and volume and structuring your routines and all of this. My thoughts on that. I have been training for a while. I've been training for 3 years uninterrupted. I've done several, fairly long periodizations of 12-week blocks of strictly power, strictly, going for hypertrophy, higher reps, lower reps. So I have cycled through a significant amount of different training styles in the last 3 years and have sustained those periods for more than 6 to 8 weeks. So I have seen the benefit of staying on a particular training style. It does work, especially the power. You can't really gain significant strength and power unless you really train for it, and you have to stay on those programs for a significant amount of time. You can't just be jumping around and expect really good gains with strength. But at this phase, since the 20th of June, I've been in a body fat cut, trying to lose my body fat, to bring it down to the lowest percentage possible without going into, dire extremes. I'm not going to compete, and I don't want to go through too much suffering. So I've found that it is very useful to be more intuitive with the training. Some call it auto-regulating. In other words, you listen to your body a lot more. I'm not going to stick on a heavy program when my knees are hurting. I'm not going to be doing heavy deadlifts if my back is a bit sore. So I modify the training for any particular day so I can get in my training volume. At this stage, volume kind of trumps intensity. When we talk about intensity, there's a big qualifier here. Many people say, I train really intense, but they don't understand the use of the word as far as weightlifting goes. Intensity is your 1 rep max. It has to do with the absolute weight you can lift. It's not how much effort you put into your training. It's not how, the subjective intensity. Yeah, I train really intense. No. It's the number. How much weight are you lifting? That's intensity. So in going for body fat reduction, it's more important to get in training volume and frequency. So the intensity has to come down. You can't train, super heavy compounds every single session. Sometimes I do. It depends on how I feel. If that day I'm feeling particularly strong and rested, I'll try to go for a heavy compound because my body can take it. If I feel a little bit off, like my knee is just a little bit sore, stiff, I'm not going to do squats that day. That's ridiculous. That's asinine. It's backwards. It's not needed. What is needed is to go with your intuition and listen to your body. So today, last week I did a PR on my squat. I did 315 pounds on the Smith machine for 15 reps. And it felt great. I was euphoric. I can't wait until I, do it again so I can do 16 or 18 or 20 and up the weight. And I was training with a partner on this particular session, and I came into the session thinking, I don't know if I can do squats today. Maybe I shouldn't, but maybe, I want to put it up on the video, and all these things are going through my mind. And, I'm not adhering to a written program that says I have to do this today or else I'm going to lose muscle. That's such baloney. So I completely modified the training for this particular session. And in hindsight, like 24 hours later that I'm making this video, it was the most productive thing I could have done. So let's just go over it. Started out with walking lunges with no weights, doing it very slowly, doing it very ponderously, stretching, getting the weight into my hips, doing complete hip flexion, not putting the weight on the knee. Did 5 sets of 10 on each side, or that would be 5 sets of 20 total paces. And at the end of those 5 sets, I felt very good. My knee wasn't hurting. Everything was pumped. I was warm. And so, do I do squats? No, let's not do squats. Let's do a machine circuit today. Okay, that sounds great. Got on the leg curl, 5 sets with a very moderate weight, 70 pounds for 20 reps. and try to keep the pace on those. Like, just maximum 2 minute rest, minute and a half. Training with a partner, it takes a little bit longer, but we were moving quickly. So 5 sets of those. My hams were completely pumped at the end of those, along with you start out with the long step lunges, then the leg curl, legs starting to get pumped, a different feel than the squat routine. From there, looking around on the machines, the gym is packed. Gee, the adductor machine is free. Let's go for adductors. Okay, hardly ever do those. Need them. They're very useful. You should build up your adductors. They're very useful for doing deep squats. Half of your leg is the adductor. You should build them up. So got into it, 5 sets on the adductor. It was fantastic. Used a reasonable amount of weight and really go for the squeeze. The inside of my thigh is feeling it today, let me tell you. Along with those other 2 exercises, my leg is starting to get really pumped. 5 sets of those, 20 reps. With a moderate weight, something that you can work with. Then from there went to the leg extensions. Man, oh man. Now, the leg extension, after doing these other exercises that are more like hip flexion, glute, and ham oriented in the inside, just really was like a great finisher. It was another 5 sets of those. My legs were burning. I mean, they were literally on fire. Also with a moderate weight, we do like 100, 110, 120 pounds. I've done the full stack, 180. It's meaningless. It's better to just do, really focus on the contraction. Just work the thing without going to extremes. Just doing a machine circuit today. So did those 5 sets. Now looking around, what else do we do? Maybe we should do a compound move, but not go crazy, like, something moderate. There was a vertical leg press free, because again, the gym was packed. So went to the vertical leg press. What an amazing machine. Got full knee flexion on that without putting any pressure on the knee. I don't know how the angle works on that machine, but it worked out perfectly. So did like some burn sets on the 5 sets also. Another 5 sets with a moderate weight, not like, 500 pounds under. No, like, it's like it's a pin loaded thing. So it doesn't, you can't go too heavy in any case, but it's enough to feel like resistance, right? And did 30 reps with those. Did some full reps, range of motion, some partials, then some explosions, like you go down and then push off, like you rocket off, like boom, 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 and then some partials, then some full reps, just playing with it. Man, oh man, after 5 of those, I'm feeling great. I'm saying, man, my legs are getting a workout for sure. Very different from doing the power moves, from doing the leg press and the squat. A different session, okay? Not every single session has to be the same. This one was just feeling like great. So to finish off the routine, did Bulgarian splits. I hate those. I hate the Bulgarian splits. Why? Because they're hard to do. They take a lot of fatigue. They're just they're a pain in the ass, but they are highly effective. I mean, they really target the quad and the glute, and it's just an amazing exercise. It's one of those things that you should be diligent with. Like the Bulgarian split is probably one of the most productive leg exercises. You see people in the gym with like the bigger legs. They're always doing these type of exercises along with the heavy squats. But they're the ones that don't neglect these walking lunges. They don't neglect the Bulgarian splits. It's not just squats and leg presses. And these are the people that have bigger legs. And so we finished off today with the Bulgarian split. Did only 3 sets of those. I just couldn't take it anymore. First 2 sets, body weight, getting into the groove. And it's one of those things that you want it to end quickly. It's not like a really fun exercise. It takes coordination. It takes some effort to keep the balance. And of course, it's one leg at a time. So it's considerably, taxing. And so, anyways, did the 3 sets, the final set with moderate weight, like 20-pound dumbbells. So it was like 40 pounds. And it was wonderful. Man, at the end of the day, at the end of that session, I said, thank God I didn't do the squats today. I know I'll be able to do them next time. Because today, 24 hours later, after I filmed this, the workout, my knees are feeling great. It's like I really want to go do the squats again. So having a heavy day and a light day, sometimes I put up these videos and somebody will see me doing like a max lift and says, you're going to have a short lifting career. You're going to burn out. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. And they think that's the only thing I do. It's like, I only grind out 1 rep maxes, Come on, use your brain, guys. I mean, nobody does that, much less me. I'm smart. I don't do that shit. I do it every once in a while. Like the other day, I put up a bench press grinder. It was the first time I'd done that, like in 3.5 months. And somebody was saying, you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna have a short lifting career. Say, people make all kinds of assumptions. They just don't know the backstory about anything, and they quick to judge. So they know everything. They're quick to judge of what's going on there because you post something, and they figure that's the only thing you ever do. Anyways, I had to get that off my chest. I know you guys are smart. You guys know what's up, and the idea is that you can incorporate many different tools that you have in your toolbox to achieve your goal. Again, if you're on a rigid program for a particular goal, stay on it. I've done that. Been there, done that. Now it's body fat reduction. I'm doing my cardio, and I'm trying to get in training volume as best as I can. I'm trying to train as heavy as I can most of the time. But I will not train super heavy if I'm not, if my body tells me no, because that's how you get hurt. Like with the heavy weights, if you are not completely mentally there, you're going to get hurt. With the volume and lower weight, you can get away with a lot of shit. You can fatigue the muscle, and it's harder to get injured than, say, you're doing even on 300 pounds on the squat. You're doing that blithely, just willy-nilly without really thinking about it. You're kind of weak. You can really screw something up, So you got to be careful. I mean, that's the other takeaway here. You got to be very careful with what you do, and I am. I have torn muscles. I have been injured, but that's just part of the game. I try to be as intense with this, and over time, you put yourself at risk. Some people don't like to take any risks. They don't want to get injured ever, and that's fine. I can respect that. But in my case, and I don't want to get injured, and I'm sure as hell not trying to get injured, I do a lot of crazy shit sometimes, and I don't get injured. The couple of times that I have been injured has been doing like back offsets with less weight, and it just, man, shit happens sometimes. But that's not going to intimidate or, it's not going to distract me from my ultimate goal. These are things that you have to overcome. If you have a goal, if you have a passion, you have to work through these things. And, having an accident here or there is not going to set you back. Thank God I haven't had, any permanent injuries or anything harsh happen. It's been enough to have a wake-up call, for sure. Be careful. And I am. But you can't let fear rule your life. It's like you're going to be all of a sudden gun shy, and you can't be training hard, and, you're fucked. That's all I have to say about it. That's my personal opinion. Now, the beauty about this bodybuilding thing is that you can train so many different ways. I mean, there's literally, unlimited ways of going about things. And so people are very opinionated. 2 times a week. No, 3 times a week. No, 1 time a week. You split it up. You do this. Whole body doesn't work. No. And they get into these passionate arguments and don't understand that, first of all, everybody's different. People who have been training for a long time should know their bodies by now and what they want and what works for them, So I think I'm one of those people. I found out basically what's working for me, and I would advise every one of you out there to find out what works for you. Everybody has different body proportions. The squat doesn't work for everybody. It works for some people. Same thing with every exercise. You have to find out what works for you, and then you have to get artful at it. Get good at what you do. Find your particular art, and you're going to be different from everybody else, and try to pursue it to the best of your ability, and then you'll stand out. Anyways, God bless everybody, and we'll see you next time.